I was 5 years old. I was standing in the front yard, and my cousin Tommy, who was my same age, came running around the side of the house and shouted, "Do you want to see a boner?" Now, I did not know what a boner was, but I knew it was probably pretty good from the way he was running, so I said, "Yes." And he said, "Okay, hurry." So we go pounding down the side of the house into the backyard. He's in front yelling, "Wait up, you guys!" And what it was Ernie Artisan laying in the grass with everybody pushing in this big circle around him. And then his big brother, Marty Artisan, who was the boss of everyone, says, "Okay." And Ernie Artisan pulls his dinger out. And Marty says, "On your mark, get set, go." And everyone starts going, "Naked ladies, naked ladies, naked ladies." Except Ernie's kind of deaf, so they have to go, "Naked ladies, naked ladies, naked ladies." And then I saw it. It did not disturb me. I had seen a lot of naked ladies in Playboys, which I loved. My dad had millions of them, billions, jillions, and every kid I knew would look at them. We made a club called the Monster Club, Do Not Enter, under the porch, and we had a magnifying glass, lighter fluid, matches, and Playboys. It was dark down there, and there was a lot of dirt, and you had to crawl, so it was the perfect place to look at the pictures. Marty Artisan was always the leader. We couldn't open the magazines till he said. He always got first pick for which one of the pictures was his girlfriend. And if you talked back to him, he said, "You are contaminated for the rest of your life." And no one would play with you. Who we hated was the teenagers because they raided our club and because they thought they were so big. Smoking was their big deal, and sniffing glue off of old socks and paper bags. We did a man from Uncle on them in the bushes a bunch of times and saw humping, titty feels, everything. One time, Kenny Mitchell had Lila Davidson's shirt pulled all the way up so you could see her big bra, which gave Marcy Anders such a spaz fit that she starts yelling, "Hey! Hey! Hey!" And we almost get killed by Kenny. "If I ever catch you alone, I'm going to kick your asses." Man, we took off running. The one thing you had to do to be in our monster club was you had to write a known swear on the actual wall of the school. I wrote mine behind Portable 3. There was already a bunch of them there anyway, so it didn't really matter. Someone wrote the poem, "Tic-tac-toe, your mama is a hoe," spell H-O-E. There were a million naked lady drawings and drawings of dingers peeing, but the one thing I noticed that nobody could really draw decently was a butt. One of the most exciting things that almost everybody had at their house was that Tijuana Brass album called Whipped Cream and Other Delights. The lady on the cover killed me. She made my pants itch. So what if I was a girl? Girls can like naked ladies. The ladies who we liked most were Marilyn Monroe, Edie Adams, Elkie Summer, the Star-Kissed Tuna Fish Mermaid, Paula Prentice, Agent 99, Bridget Bardot, Barbie, Bewitched, the Noxzema Girl, Inger Stevens, Betty and Veronica, Diana Rigg, I Dream of Jeannie, Raquel Welch, Catwoman, Honey West, and the lady who had dreams in her maiden form bra. The one thing I felt positive about from looking at all the naked lady pictures was that I was going to have huge tits. I mean, we all were going to have them. In our library at school, they had the National Geographics. A lot of pages were already ripped out, but sometimes you could still find a naked one, where some spaz would write an ink balloon coming out of her mouth saying, "Feel my titties, every boy in the world." A lot of times, you'd have books with people with wieners drawn on them, especially in history books and spelling books. Like in mine was George Washington. He was standing on a boat with his arm up, and somebody put a dinger and lines coming from it like he was peeing on the heads of his men. The first girl to get tits was Marlene Prosser in the 5th grade. Everybody was always kiping looks at her. I mean, how could we not? Pretty soon, our slang word for tits was Marlene Prossers. Then, in the 6th grade, the girls saw a film strip called Your Special Day. Our ugly teacher, Miss Burnside, who wore a fall and a miniskirt and played Where Have All the Flowers Gone on a guitar while sitting up on the stool so we could see up to where she stopped, shaving her legs, which gave me nightmares, passed out the little Special Day booklets to put in our underwear drawers at home. On the cover was this beautiful lady holding an umbrella and running through flowers and laughing. The main rule was anyone who cracked up during the film strip would be sent to the office. As far as I could tell from the story, one day I would wake up and there'd be a red flower in my underpants, and that's when I would be a woman. By 7th grade in home ec, we had been hearing that our bodies were going through a lot of fascinating changes. But hardly anyone I knew could tell, and everyone started thinking there was something wrong with them, and this pretty much set the tone of the next 6 years. Everyone thought they were ugly. Everyone thought they were too fat. Everyone had one tit different than the other. Our home ec teacher would terrify us by saying things like, "You know, the dentist can tell when you're on your period," and then taking our bust measurements and writing them down. She told us, "I was exactly like you were when I was your age." And that made some of us feel sort of like crying. Our home ec class faced the playfield, and everyone wanted the sewing machines on that side of the room so we could watch the guys and think about them wearing their jock straps. We got bras, and they got jock straps. Like, everything was suddenly going out of control, and your mom had to buy you something to stop it. There were a lot of stories starting to go around my junior high. My girlfriend said she read an article about a lady who had done it with a lizard and had a baby with really bad skin. Somebody's sister said a mouse filled with the Holy Spirit ran up the toilet while she was sitting on it and made her pregnant. This one girl told everybody at a slumber party that seeing Porky Pig's bottom made her excited once when she was little, and now no one would eat lunch with her. Nearly everyone got stuck with a nickname, and your only hope was that it wasn't something like Lardo or the smell. There was this one girl who got named Kleenex because she really did stuff her bra. I mean, a lot of girls did it at home to see how it would look, but only Sandy Blangy was stupid enough to try to fake people out with it at school. She wore a fall that wasn't even the right color, and almost everything she said was a lie. It was weird. You could tell she was wearing her mom's shoes. What kind of mom would let her daughter go around like that? Her nail polish was always caked up on the sides, and she wore tons of pukey perfume. How come nobody said anything? How come no teacher helped her out, said, "Hey, Sandy, cut it out, you're being a spaz"? But nobody ever did. For talent show, she did a tap dance in a big, ugly bathing suit covered with fringe. The music was Goldfinger. We couldn't even hardly look. Pretty soon, she was going with a guy from Fort Lewis, a soldier guy with a car, and she was only a ninth grader. I think she was originally from North Dakota, where they are different. By then, we all knew we were naked ladies. We knew it, and the boys knew it, and some of the girls started being called sluts, and some of the girls started being called prudes. Around then, you had to be very careful about looking at playboys because you just might be a lesbo by accident. It was like when you sit by a high window, how you're scared you just might throw yourself out. But the main reason those magazines made us really nervous is that when we looked at them, we could tell that some of us were definitely starting to turn out really weird. By high school, we were automatically in the habit of hating all the really pretty girls and automatically giving up on all the really cute guys. The pretty girls were really a pain, the ones the guys thought were so stacked. The snobs who thought they were too good for the whole world. There was this one girl, this cheerleader, we all hated her. Just the way the guys would say her name and look at each other was enough to make you sick. Scummy guys, creeps. Guys she'd never let touch her in a million years would sit there staring at her and drooling all over their braces at the games. Big deal is all I have to say about her. Lots of stuff got passed around. People said she was a prude, that she wouldn't even let a guy French. They said she was a tease and a self-centered bitch and a snob. Then somebody said, no, she's an easy lay, really horny and hard up. Somebody said they saw rubbers in her purse. Someone else said she kept FDS in her locker. The main thing was that all the girls hated her guts. Just because you are stacked does not mean you can control the world. By 12th grade, some girls were already getting stretch marks. You could see it in PE. Some girls were still flat, and they'd been flat for too long, and they were going to stay flat. A couple girls looked like they were getting a mustache. Some girls started taking the pill and got fat. Some girls got fat without doing anything. And some girls with big ones were already hanging way down. It seemed like nearly everyone was deformed without ever even having a chance to be normal. By then, we all knew that the girls in Playboy were clearly the enemy. They were going to get all the guys, and we never get any guys, not even the creeps. And even if we ever did get a guy, they could take him away from us just like that. Because every man in the world would always want them way more than they would ever want us because they were beautiful and we were ugly. And this put us in a bad mood for the next 10 years.